Welcome to the One Pan Podcast. I'm John.
And as far as it... Shut the fuck up. And seems I'm still Bryce.
And tonight, we'll be making... Mexican Casserole Pizza! Wait.
No, it's okay. The gist of Mexican food is it's really just like 6 ingredients. Corn, cheese, beans, what else? What? Beans?
Beans?
Not bean.
Some kind of pork product?
Some kind of meat, maybe. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily cheese, but in the States, it's
in the States, it's mostly cheese.
It's mostly cheese. You just take a couple of ingredients, you just kind of rearrange them. So it's pizza, casserole, pizza.
Uh-huh.
It fits.
Deep dish garbage is about what it's supposed to be.
It's made in a pie tin.
It's made in a pie tin. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is going to be weird. Oh, Lord. This recipe comes from TemeculaBlogs.com, but that's not the website. When you go to TemeculaBlogs.com, it's the typical mom surviving and thriving with kids.
Weird flex, but okay.
No, yeah, weird flex, but go off, I guess. So, I don't even know where to begin with this recipe.
Well, let's... Yeah. What is it? What is the gist of it?
The gist is you layer tortillas in a pie tin, and you I'm so sad thinking about this. I can't even. I just feel my soul slowly escaping my body as I'm trying to explain this horrendous amalgamation of edibles of cultures mishmashing.
So there's the Mexican part of it, right?
Sure, which is ground beef, cheese, tortillas.
Oh, also the salsa.
Salsa. Yeah, there's a little salsa verde, green chilies, sour cream.
Right. It's also built like lasagna.
Yes, because it's
layered. Little nod to Italy.
A little nod to like we also speak the Romance languages.
Right. And then it's also kind of the same as a deep dish pizza.
Uh-huh.
So there's a little pat on the head for Chicago. Da Bears. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing.
My name's Julius Pepperwood. I'm from Chicago. Thin crust pizza? No thanks. I'm from Chicago.
No thanks.
No thanks. I'm from Chicago. That's my favorite joke in that show, New Girl. Do you watch that show?
No.
Zoe Deschanel. Her and her big raccoon eyes.
Here's my thing with Zoe Deschanel.
Uh-huh.
She's like all those annoying girls in college and high school who had bangs and were like, I'm interesting because I'm quirky. And I'm not saying they aren't interesting or they aren't quirky, but I wasn't interested.
Just, no quirks for me. No quirks for you.
No.
You're the quirk Nazi? Is that how that goes?
No.
No quirks for you. Oh, man.
Here's the thing. You can be quirky. It's okay to be quirky, but don't make your quirkiness.
Wait, did you say Corky?
Corky?
Corky Romano?
Corky.
I remember that television show.
That wasn't a TV show.
It was a movie.
It was an SNL skit turned into a movie. And as we've all learned, that goes poorly.
Horribly wrong.
Have any
most
of them
the time
survived?
Yes. Night at the Roxbury is still very good.
Yeah, okay. That one transcended. I agree.
It did. And then Wayne's World, the first one, because the second one
Yes, Wayne's World. Yes, okay. That one's fair.
Yep,
That's fair.
Yep, because I have it on VHS and I watch it at the shop occasionally. It's good. It's still so good. Which is funny because I think about Mike Myers as having not transcended. Like, Wayne's World aged, Mike Myers did not. He did Shrek, and that's as good as it gets. And
yeah, imagine if Shrek was your peak. Smash Mouth does.
Which is ridiculous to think because, did you know this? And I only really recently learned this. Not Seth MacFarlane. Ugh, that'd be great. Seth MacFarlane as Shrek would be amazing. Donkey.
If Shrek was not Scottish. Wait, what? Is Shrek?
But New England.
Yeah, he's New England. He's just a crotchety New England man. It's not my swamp. It's my porch.
My porch. Oh God, that's just no. It's Chris Farley. You can sort of how I made the McFarlane Farley that leap that jump. That's what happens with brain damage. Chris Farley was originally slated to play Shrek.
Yes, he was.
And there's like 60% of the dialogue is recorded. I've watched YouTube videos of it where he's I live in a van down by the river, and it's just
Wait, that's what we were gonna get.
Yes!
So he wasn't originally. He wasn't originally conceived as a Scottish character.
No!
Mike Myers just brought that with him.
Yeah, Mike Myers took Fat Bastard from Austin Powers and was like, sure, this is what ogres sound like. Get in my belly. Remember that? Remember when we all used to say that?
Yeah. Being 8 was great.
Being 8?
Being 8 was great.
Yeah.
I think that's when that came out.
I think so. I don't remember. I just remember not being allowed to watch it because it was very raunchy and stuff like that. And then, but they make what a couple penis pump jokes, and at the end she covers her she covers her breasts with melons, and it's like a visual gag or something like that.
Right. With which I really like that. It brought the joke to its final conclusion because in every Bond movie, there's always a little bit of that. There's always a little bit of, are we gonna get to? It's a Bond movie.
It's
no,
a little
you don't.
Titillating.
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
Dad jokes for the win. All right, what are we doing? We're grounding the beef.
We're browning the ground beef.
Yes, that's the word.
You're good.
I was
awesome. Grounding.
hoping to use.
Matt Groening.
Matt Groening. We're Matt Groening the
Is
beef.
it graining or groaning?
I thought it was. I thought it was groaning for the longest time, but I have heard many a time that it's Matt Groening.
I feel like it's a big joke and you're being goofed. That's what I feel like it is.
If it is, that would
You're
be the
the
thing.
one.
I would be the one who's being fucking goofed because they go, that idiot in Utah. We're just gonna make fun of him. It's like how German words are Liebe, right? To love in German is L-I-E. You say the E. Versus if it was L-E-I, you say Liebe. The more you know. Okay, so we're browning the beef. We're gonna get back to that. We're browning the beef first. It's about a pound of ground beef, which interestingly, the recipe has no seasoning in it whatsoever, which makes me think that would be ridiculously bland. So we're gonna spice it up, both literally and figuratively, by adding
some onion powder, some cumin. That's it, really. That's
salt,
all we're really.
pepper.
Oh, salt, pepper, yeah.
Yeah, the basics stuff.
That's probably a little too
Coriander, nutmeg. No?
Newt's egg? No.
Newt's egg.
That'd be very gelatinous.
Isn't that newts? Isn't that the currency in Harry Potter? Oh wait, we all know how you feel about Harry Potter.
Yeah, no, I don't know. All I know is there's some weird guy named Dobby that everyone's weirdly attached to, and I'm not.
I'm not.
So the ending of the last book broken into 2 movies. Please, anyone correct me if I'm wrong. I don't care, but please correct me.
I think you got it.
The end of that one, the sort of the climax to
Climax.
get you to sort of be like, you got to see the next movie was him dying, and I was pretty much unfazed. I was like, he contributed so little, and now he's gone. Whatever.
I can hear everybody so angry. Probably it's good, but you should smell the ground beef. It smells great though. It's a lot of fun.
So dishes.
Do we have dishes from this week? We should do the dishes. We should do the dishes.
Last time we did the dishes kind of the whole time.
Yeah, we did.
So, dishes.
Dishes, doing the dishes the whole time. They're about as fun as in real life. What do we got? I don't really remember.
So
did anybody tweet us at Jessica Biel's what their favorite movie was? Did anybody talk about the Phantom Toll Booth? I'm not really sure. We covered GameStop, which is we probably even bastardized it on top of doing the dishes. We did it worse. But it's fine. I mean, y'all have access to Wikipedia. You can look it up too. God.
Right. No. At some point we were talking about like time travel and time bubbles and like what was that?
I don't know.
We can edit this so we don't sound so dumb.
We could, and I could go back and listen to what we were talking about. But
no. But anyways.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And his spray-on shoes. And how the spray-on shoes...
Oh, does it trap them in time?
Does it trap them in time? Because otherwise, does the nails horrendously grow...
So...
Do they get, like, mangled up inside because they have nowhere to go? Or do they weirdly penetrate the spray-on shoeness? And then he's got, like, claws that he trims and stuff like that. And then you mentioned Star Trek, and we never went anywhere with that.
That's fine. We're coming back to it now.
Back
to it now.
Yeah.
So Star Trek, they had one of the bottle episodes. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Bottle episode?
It's self-contained, where they get
where they're kind of in one set.
Yeah, sure. Some emergency.
Budgets.
Some emergency happens, and they're like, "Oh, we only have to be here." And then I went off on Sliders.
Right.
For 45 minutes.
No worries. Sliders is great. It's worth going that way. I fully remember the Penicillin episode where they got transported to another world, but a similar Earth-like thing, and they were like, it's 1990 for us, and we die from easy bullshit because we haven't figured out penicillin. And John Rhys Davies shows up and he's like, I made some mold, here's some penicillin, we've irrevocably changed this world. And I was like, oh, this shit's so real. When I was a little kid, alright? Anyways, that's why Sliders is worth talking about.
Oh, that's great. Because I just like the idea that Gimli was Marie Curie? Nope. Pierre Lafute? Nope.
I don't know. Dishes next time.
There we go. Let's figure it out. We'll do the dishes on who invented penicillin. David Hasselhoff.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Oh, I doubt it.
Isn't he in Knight Rider? No, we're doing dishes on that one. Is he?
Yes, yeah.
No, that's...
David Hasselhoff, yes he is.
I thought it was MacGyver.
Nope. That is a whole different stuff.
That is a whole different show. Wow.
It's okay.
I never watched either of those either. The only thing I know David Hasselhoff is in the SpongeBob movie.
Baywatch.
Oh. That too.
Baywatch.
Well, that's what I mean. He's his Baywatch character in the SpongeBob movie.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so if you want to know what might be happening inside those shoes, the Clyde with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yes, let's get there.
So in the Star Trek bottle episode, they're like leaving a conference. I think it was Picard, Troy, and Geordie LaForge. I don't know. Good old Geordie.
Other Star Trek name.
Guy.
I'm not a...
It's Next Generation.
I've watched TNG twice. I've seen three episodes.
It's worth watching. Also, pro tip, you can find the what are the best episodes across the 6-7 seasons so that you can catch the best story arcs. Because there's a lot of filler. There's a lot of one-off episodes and a lot of really cringy episodes that just haven't aged well. But there's a lot that really have. And so you can get...
age better than Shrek.
Right? You can get the best of and the gist of Star Trek The Next Generation in really only 43 episodes instead of all 160, which I did maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Nice.
And people talk about that series like it's always been great the whole time. No, the first 3 seasons were a goddamn struggle.
I remember watching the first episode with Q, and I was like, this is
funky.
This is very, what do you say, fucky?
That's fucky, yeah. It's sort of like,
I don't understand what's going on.
It's not right in a wrong way.
It's not right in a wrong way. It's very not. Why is this all-powerful being with a single letter, formerly known as, he's the
there was just no
the
context
all-powerful
for it.
being formerly known as
right?
Prince or whatever.
It takes 3 episodes with Q. They kind of get 1 per season. Remember I said the first 3 seasons are having trouble. Anyways, just saying, there's a pattern when you watch the whole series. Oh, that light went out. I just noticed. It's okay. It's weird. New house to us, and everything's kind of going out all at the same time. Nice. It's a little spooky.
That's like have you ever seen The Money Pit with Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks.
Oh, it's such a beautiful
film. It all falls apart ridiculously.
But when Spoiler, he goes there, right when he gets when he goes with a real estate agent to the house, everything is fine. Everything is fine, and then he buys it, and then it all goes to shit. I feel like this is how this is. You guys were tricked into buying this home.
I mean,
and you're like, damn it, the lights are. I mean, it's not like the stairs haven't fallen off, which has been great yet. But you've told me about how this stopped working. No, this stopped working. Damn it!
It's all minor shit.
Yeah,
it's all minor shit, which is fine.
Just
it's all fixable,
annoying.
But it's just how worried should I be? It's not too old. From what they say is once you get to about a 30-year-old house, that's when shit can just be and I'm broke. It could be working just fine. Someone could look at it and say, this will last until the apocalypse. But then suddenly they'll just be like,
7 seconds
I remember what I'm on.
7 seconds later, peace out.
Yeah.
All right, you've mixed the...
I put in the cream of mushroom.
Yeah.
Which I don't like the idea of cream of
so
mushroom.
this is the other thing too. This is the part that I go, this is a very white people recipe because is cream of mushroom a Hispanic thing?
Don't think
so. No, I kind of want to say no. Kind of want to say cream of mushroom is not. He's got the ground beef. He's mixing the cream of mushroom. We'll mix the salsa in there too.
Coming right up.
And then we will layer tortilla, layer a third of the meat, salsa, cream mixture, cheese, another tortilla, and then repeat the process a couple of times until the pie pan is full. Throw it in the oven for 400, and then, 30 minutes later or something like that.
When the top looks crispy?
When the top looks crispy.
It's all fully cooked.
Which is, which is like, why does it take, we just need we need a broiler. That's what we need, because this is not we're not cooking the stuff. Everything's being cooked.
Right. I mean, we're melting the cheese.
Yep.
I guess.
The idea is that once this is all done, you'll be able to cut it and have, like, deep dish casserole pizza slices. God, this recipe is a fucking nightmare. Who thought this? Okay, listen, the typical mom. I don't know what you were doing here. I don't know what you were going after, but you're just offending everyone all around. I'm not happy with this. This looks like a mushy mess of weirdness and everything, because it's supposed to be thick. The after photos on the website make it seem as if you, like, cut a slice, it will be perfectly intact, right? Not like it's dripping out the sides or things and stuff like that. So I don't know what this is gonna be.
I'm confident. I am confident.
Yeah.
So, I mean, smell that.
Okay, that's not bad. That sounds pretty good. The ground beef. Did you do cumin and the onions and stuff?
Cumin and the onions in there.
Okay, that's good stuff. Oh, I loved your
What? What?
the best of or the gist of. I like that as a good metric for measuring things. Now we should get the best of something and the gist of something.
Hold on, explain.
You were
Break that
talking.
down.
You were
Break that
talking
down.
about so you were talking about the episodes of the Star Trek, right? You're like all 100 something, and you can go on websites and get like the best of or the gist of, and I think that's our new blog, the best of or the gist of, and it's the way to go. It's a way to look at something and to mechanically break it down and go like, okay, you break down the best of something, right? So you have like a giant series like Simpsons with an insane amount of episodes that no human should watch all of those episodes. So then you go, they do the best of articles, right? And they're like, oh, you need to watch Treehouse of Horror 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 or something like that. You watch the episode where Homer goes to the clown college and Marge does Streetcar Named Desire or stuff like that. Lisa becomes the beauty pageant queen. Maggie goes to the Ayn Randian the school or something like that, whatever it was, and then does a thing. Oh, you're ladling
the chunky bits.
Yeah, you're ladling
the ulcer bits.
The ulcer-inducing bits.
Yeah. While making a fucking mess.
Salsa is its own thing. Salsa is its own fucking giant mess of shit.
Yeah, well, when you're not a bitch about salsa, it's real easy. You just eat it. But
yeah, sure.
Like, I like it kind of, but not always.
Is that you doing an impression of you?
It's me doing an impression of the shitty side of me.
The shitty side of you. Oh, that's good. And then, okay, the best of, right? And then you get the gist of, so that you're like, I want to feel like I'm included on the rest of this stuff, but I don't have the wherewithal to sit through 1,000 hours of nonsense. So you get like tweet descriptions of all the rest of the episodes.
Well, it's like, so I'm a big fan of the animes, right? And there's one anime called One Piece. It's a pirate-themed anime. But it has like 980 episodes at this point.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, it has 980 chapters. I'm not sure if that translates into episodes. But there's a lot of episodes to watch. Okay? I only have so much time in a day.
In my life, actually.
In my life. So I'm waiting for the series to end.
Sure, for whom the bell tolls.
Right. And then I'll see which ones were the filler episodes and which one weren't, because everyone knows about Dragon Ball Z, right?
Oh yeah, we got fucked with Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, Dragon Ball Z had about 270 episodes.
Is one of the most well-known animes across the world by it's Akira Toriyama?
Akira Toriyama.
Anyways, fantastic art direction and everything and stuff like that, and really set the precedent for anime in America and stuff like that, especially when it was like adopted by Toonami when we were kids on Cartoon Network, which was awesome. Every day after school, watch that nonsense. Right. Oh my god, that reminds me. I remember. I think it was the episode where Goku first fought with Frieza that I was on the phone with my friend
talking at the episode,
watching it together like it was a. Like we were at a slumber party. I felt like one of those like the commercials with the little girls when they like. Oh, he's so cute. Whatever they're talking, like they're talking about boy bands or something. Yeah. I remember that. I was talking with this kid. His name was Seth, and we were just like, "Oh, look at him! He looks so awesome!" And I'm like, "This is the episode where he goes Super Saiyan." And I just remembered.
Right.
I just remember watching the episode with him on the phone together. Like, and then it just was so meta.
Like
boyfriends. It was adorable. It was the funniest thing. And
I didn't salt and pepper this. You know what? Fuck it.
It
doesn't say to salt and pepper.
No, and that's the other part of the recipe is there's a lot of lacking with it. The fact that we even put the cumin and we put the onion powder in, we're already increasing the viability of this recipe because it feels so utterly let down.
All right, dog. You want some cheese? Here's some cheese. There you go.
Just
now, are you happy? Now get out from our feet so we don't stomp on you.
Yeah, come on, Sandor. We love you, but don't want to squish you.
So 270 episodes, okay?
Yeah.
So then that's a lot of fucking episodes.
Yeah, but then like 80 of them are nothing. 80 of them are just
literally. So at some
screaming,
point,
powering up.
They decided to come out with Dragon Ball Z Kai. It was sort of like an update to it. You know, everyone's doing remasters and all that.
Sure.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with us revisiting stuff we used to love and giving it a little edge to still be lovable.
Except
right?
for Star Wars.
What?
Don't you ruin my classics.
What?
George Lucas.
Oh, well, yes. Yeah. Sorry. I should say I don't mind coming back to and remastering something, not changing shit because you're like, I changed my mind.
CGI.
I heard a theory once, and I came up with a theory. I think we only got
That's how I'm going to do it from now on. I heard a theory in my own head.
In my own head. But the only reason why George Lucas made the prequels was because he finally got licensing rights back for toys and shit.
Oh, wait. He got them back?
Yeah, look it up.
Okay, well,
verify.
We're going to have to do the
But he got them back in like 95 or 96.
Okay, close.
Then he started making the movies, came out in 99.
Interesting. Okay, I've never heard that. Because my understanding was Fox had so little faith in the franchise of Star Wars that initially they granted him the total merchandising rights.
Right. They were just like, this isn't
going to be dumb. So yeah, sure, so whatever, you have it. They thought nothing, and then they got fucked because it like blew up and became a religion.
Right. Okay. Anyways,
so when did he lose the rights then?
I think it was. I don't remember. I was watching a Netflix documentary where they were kind of going over it. And
I was like, because there's no way you pay for Jedi Ranch, Star Walker Ranch, without having. Is it Star Walker Ranch? Skywalker Ranch. There we go. I don't want to do the dishes on that either. Listen, if I go down to Star Wars, we're already down a TNG rabbit hole that we haven't finished yet.
Right, we'll get there.
I don't want to talk about a Star Wars. Let's not go there anyway. Luke.
The chunky
Lucas. Chunky bits. Okay, what are we? We're 3 layers in.
So that is the third one, so I'm just going to put cheese on top of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? I don't put another tortilla to top it off?
No, yeah, I don't think
cheese on top like a pizza.
Just cheese on top like a pizza. I don't think there's another layer.
Okay. I think the cheese would be a good glue.
I'm going to say the worst word. It's going to be so moist. I won't say it again. I know it's like a trigger for like 1,000 people. I have a ton of friends who are like, that's the word that they can't hear out loud. So I've said it one time and I refuse to say it again because there's another word that I always use together to torment those other people, which is ointment.
Really?
And you put those 2 words together and it just, there's a lot of, you'd be surprised how many people don't like those words. And you just give them the heebie-jeebies. And it's very funny. So to prevent you from, to keep our listeners' sanity, I won't use those words again. But my worry is that it's going to be very liquidy. And it's not going to dry. It's not like the top layer, because it's exposed, will dry up and get crispity crunchity. But the middle and the bottom layers are going to just be soup.
Yeah.
And this is gonna fall apart. Okay, so Star Wars first. We didn't know anything. Okay, we'll figure that out next week.
So here's the thing with Dragon Ball Z Kai. Okay.
Oh yes, Dragon Ball Z, and then back to TNG.
Dragon Ball Z Kai was an update to it, and they were like, we do have a lot of filler episodes. Let's go in and let's see what is kind of flashback content,
sure.
and we can just get rid of. It was they brought it down to 170 episodes. That means somewhere around 100 entire episodes of the original run of Dragon Ball Z
We're just cut.
was just cut. So when it comes to One Piece and animes that have been going for a very long time,
I'm looking
just
at you, Naruto.
Naruto's another one. Bleach is another one. I'm just like, I want them to end so that someone can say, all right, here's the good ones. Watch them all the way through. So if you're going to watch TNG, that's a great way to do it if you haven't gotten into it. You can get through
Best
it
of
fast.
the gist of.
Best of or the gist of.
I think that's what we should do. I think that's another segment.
That's an opportunity.
That's an opportunity for a segment on the show. We're gonna have the best of. Welcome to the best of the gist of a podcast within the podcast. It's a podcast cast.
Podcast cast.
Podcast cast.
I think I should have done more cheese. Whatever.
No, that's a lot of cheese.
Well, on the other layers.
Oh, no.
More glue.
Oh, okay. Actually, speaking of that glue to hold the thing together, I thought. Okay, here's my thought, and this is gonna do a thing. Here's my thought: is so when we're gonna cut this open and it mooshes everywhere. My thought was we probably should have used something like breadcrumbs
To add a little thickness.
to stick it to, or like flour or something to get it to congeal just a tiny bit more. But we're gonna do a thing. So okay, the pie is ready. We'll post a photo of the pie on our Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. On the Instagram and everything. So we're throwing it in the oven. It's at 425 minutes, I think.
Fuck, I got salsa on the fucking wall.
Salsa on the... What did you do?
I twisted the cap back on the container.
Jerking
like
it
a
off?
fuckhead. Excuse me for closing. I was like, I could leave this lid out, or I could put it where it belongs on top of the salsa like a good Boy Scout, and guess what I did? I stained the wall in my new house.
Paint job.
As far as what would happen when you time lock a part of your body, but not an entire part of your body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 3 characters stuck in one of the larger shuttles. You only see them a couple of times, but it's the large set shuttles.
Mm-hmm. Good for
and
choice.
so they're flying, exactly, they're flying towards wherever their destination is, and then they happen upon a field in space of these sort of random time bubbles.
Anti-chronotons.
Sure. I like that. No, that's canon.
I just watched Futurama.
Anti-chronotons. So, they're
Good news, everyone.
Right? In true sci-fi bullshit sort of fantasy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's, time bubbles of varying sizes that are either moving really, really fast or moving really, really slow. And so they do really fun shit like, as they're moving through one section of it, of their ship, like super duper slow compared to everyone else. So one character is just moving and then stops and just stays there for like 25 seconds. They're like, oh, they're stuck in a bubble, which they're moving through space, which means the bubbles are probably moving through space. So really what happened was they'd run into one of those and then like a whole entire section of the ship was like, I literally cannot move along with the rest of the molecules and atoms of the rest of the ship moving. So really it would just rip it apart.
Wouldn't that how?
But
okay.
That would be oh no, we're running a time bubble. Oh, episode's done.
Wouldn't that be scientifically correct?
That's probably how that would go.
Got it.
But there's one point where
I like how they use like some of the science of sci-fi.
Right.
They're
Just
like,
the entertaining ones. Just the entertaining bits of science, not the boring, ruin your whole story.
Sure, not
time.
Neil deGrasse Tyson being like, no, that's not how time would work.
That's not. It's like it's fun. Just let it be fun.
Just
Neil.
shut up and let it be fun.
Which I feel like he's finally laughing at himself about that. He's finally been like, I was kind of an asshole. the
Well,
whole time.
and I read something. Vox just posted an article that he had a bunch of ladies come out and.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Another hero is dead.
Justice be done. If he fucked up, he deserves his punishment.
Yeah, which is agreed that if he groped some lady at a science con.
Oh no. Don't get grabby at the conventions.
Don't, man, or something like that. Anyway, it's not a good story, and I'm like, come on, Neil.
So there's one point where on the desk of the super ship, or whatever they're in, the conference ship. I'm gonna call it the conference ship.
Nope, super ship.
Super ship? Okay, just the big one.
Alliteration is better.
Right?
Always alliterate.
There's a bowl of potpourri, and I think one of the characters even goes, oh, who brought that potpourri? It's like, that was fresh fruit. I just put it out 15 minutes ago. And then they go, what's going on? And one of them reaches for it. It is in a super duper much faster than our frame of reference for time.
Oh, sure.
And so the fruit has rotted because even though it's only been there a couple of seconds by their perspective,
nice.
It's been there for 3 months. So one of them puts their hand in there and they go, ah!
It ages his hand.
And it has super long, nasty fingernails and all kinds of stuff. And I really like that idea. That's a very fun idea. But
they did that in Hercules.
did they?
Remember that? So Hercules
he's
at the
going
very end of Hercules,
through the
right?
pool?
Yeah, he's swimming in the green water. He's swimming in the ghost water.
Ghost water.
He's swimming in the afterlife juice. And Hades is like, no touchy, right? And he like does it, and then his like weird wristlet suddenly gets big because he loses all bone density. Osteoporosis kicks in.
It just sucks him dry.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay, so now we're in the waiting part where we get to joke and really shoot the shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna turn on the lights so I can see it.
I kind of want a spoonful of the ground beef mixture to taste what it's gonna taste like.
Good. You can get a little bit.
A lick.
Yeah.
All right. Ground beef and salsa.
Yeah.
I guess. The cream of mushroom is an interesting additive to it. I'm not against it.
I've seen it used for like how to create a sort of suspend things in a medium. What is a good one to just toss in? I feel like it's just tossed in, kind of like that, in a lot of recipes.
Sure.
Mixed results is what I would say.
Yeah, I feel like cream of stuff is that.
Yeah, like if you're making a chicken dish, throwing in cream of chicken is a great way to up the chicken factor.
Yeah, up the chicken factor.
Yeah,
That sounds
like
like
I
a
get that.
Japanese game show.
Right, up the chicken. Okay, Japanese game shows. Japanese game shows are the fucking best. You know one of my favorites? One of my
tell me,
favorites
talk of the thing.
is a room where something in the room is candy.
Please tell me it's called Candy Room.
I don't know. We can look it up.
Oh,
we can
it's
look
good.
it up. Okay? But all it is you
Something-
have a certain time limit.
What is it? Is it like a curio shop or something like that?
It just made like a hotel lobby, just a section of a hotel lobby.
Okay.
So this, doors.
Yeah,
and
set the scene
furniture
for
and-
this.
And big tables, coffee tables, little tables, side tables.
Okay, is this like a game show like Deal or No Deal where there's like
No.
a thing and there's an audience, or is it like a real life, or like a hidden camera kind of game show or something like that?
No. So it's sort of like it looks like a set. So it's
Okay.
not like the full room. They'll remove 2 or 3 of the walls.
Got it.
For it.
Okay.
So it's there on a set, but it's like Price is Right where there's a whole audience.
Yeah,
being
yeah.
like, no, not that one. Do that one. And so it's like 4, 5, 6 people. I don't know what the
This
number
is
of people
good.
there
Oh,
is.
this is a
but
great idea.
They have to. There's 1, 2, maybe a couple of objects in the room that are, I think, candy or
Candy.
specifically chocolate.
Gummy or chocolate?
No, the one I know is chocolate, and they have to find it. And really, the only way to do it is to sort of touch it
Licking stuff?
and then bite it or lick it.
That's a great.
And
I'm
yeah.
gonna get a cold because
Right. And so it's really fun to just
That's how
see
you get
full-grown
rhinovirus.
adults.
Yeah.
Full-grown adults grabbing a book and sniffing it.
gently.
Touching and
Touching.
trying to like bend
Oh, sure.
it
And
and
be
be
like,
like,
"This
oh,
isn't-
that's actually that's paper.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's paper.
Opening the book and being like, is this page? Is this like?
Is this a chocolate phone?
Is this a? Is this something? A
Is
substance
this
similar
lamp
to
made of
paper?
gummies?
And just like sometimes they'll get doorknobs.
Oh,
Just
man.
a doorknob. And one of the classic little videos from it, which is how I discovered, is this guy going in to like bite a doorknob and apprehensive, and then gentle chomp, and then it just breaks off and it's very obviously chocolate. And he's like, I got it. He's so pleased with himself, and I am so pleased for him.
Secret chocolate.
Right.
That's what a great concept. How would Americans ruin that?
They would say. They'd give you 3 objects. One is metal, one is glass, and the other is chocolate.
Sure.
And then you don't have insurance, and so you pick the wrong one, and
No, everything. It's
You're
fine that
ruined.
you all have peanut allergies, and you have to find the thing with the
oh no.
first one to lick the thing that has palm oil on it, and so
It's die or don't die.
die or don't die. That's what it would be. Instead of secret chocolate, it's first one to use the EpiPen or something.
like how long? Like eating spicy food. Who can get to the end? It's sort of like my throat's not closed yet. It's not. I can take this.
It's a fear factor. The medical edition.
First one to pen up.
First one to pen up loses. Right?
That's a terrible game show.
That's
so exploitative.
sure.
We can't do that.
That's exactly what American television is, though.
Yeah.
Is just
Yeah.
how can we see people in pain?
I mean, American Gladiators was great, but if they had actually been killing each other, we would have gone full Roman.
We did with
But-
Russell Crowe. It was good.
Right.
He won a Oscar. That's what the word is. Was looking for. I was like, I don't
from
know,
that movie.
Yeah, from that movie. It was best
He did
picture,
good.
best score. Yeah, he did good in that one. He did good. What else has he done? I like Russell Crowe in some stuff.
He did.
Everybody gives him crap for his singing performance in Les Mis.
Les Mis.
Everybody gives him garbage for that, and I fully admit that. Like I think he did the best he could because he's not a singer. I don't think
He does have a band.
I'm sorry. I've lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Excuse me.
Sorry to literally derail you. Yeah, he has a band. I haven't listened to it. I can only assume it's fine.
Is it like a Steve Miller Band cover? Because I feel like that would be Russell Crowe's jam.
No, I think I don't know if his brothers are involved with it, but there is like a band. I've heard of them performing in places that matter.
Weird.
But I do think that's part of how he got the role.
Okay.
I can act. Also, I am capable of singing.
Capable of singing. I have the vocal ability to make sustained notes with my throat muscles.
Right.
Speaking of people who also have bands, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
has a
yes.
jazz band.
Yes.
And apparently, this is unconfirmed, he plays piano. Like, he plays jazz piano well. Which, I don't even... I don't know what to do.
So like, where does the fun stop with Jeff Goldblum?
I don't know.
You find out, he's doing that. Well, that sounds awesome. I'd love to tell me more.
I just want him to just
He also does this. Oh, how nice.
My favorite food.
Yes.
That's my favorite not Patton Oswalt. It's Frank Caliendo. Remember Frank Caliendo?
I
was
do.
Very popular.
Hey, no,
the
do you
show
remember
Frank TV.
He did a live stand-up thing in the weird amphitheater, like the very small, used by like high schools for their dumpy little plays.
Oh, you've told me about this. He did it here.
He did it in Draper, Utah, and I assume it's just sort of a like his agent was booking stuff. There was a free night, and they were like, "Well, this venue's open."
Sure.
I'm sure it was a very pragmatic decision, but like Frank Caliendo used to be big shit when I was like in middle school, high school,
he was very funny.
and now it was down the street, and I could have just stood out, and I could have taken my dog for a walk and enjoyed a Frank Caliendo show, and I still wasn't really interested in it.
Anyway,
Wasn't feeling it.
His bit, Frank's bit about Jeff Goldblum as being like he could be 100% for something and then do a complete 180. And so he talks about his like, Jeff, what's your favorite kind of hot dog? My favorite food. I love chili dogs. I love hot dogs. I love corn dogs. I love cheese on dogs. Wait a minute. I'm a vegetarian. And you just think about how Jeff in his hands. That's why I think that's the most endearing part about Jeff Goldblum is he always looks like he's miming
Something.
He looks like he watched Labyrinth as a kid and saw the
Said,
stuff that Jareth did with the spheres, and he's like, I'm gonna do that.
Forever.
I'm not good. I'm not actually good at that. And so he, in his own mind,
His own style.
pretends to be juggling the spheroids, the glass balls, and that's just the way he talks, and it's just great because the Amazon preview video, right? So on the Amazon app, right, they have pictures of the item that you're gonna purchase, and so I looked up the Jeff Goldblum and the Lemony Snicket Orchestra. I don't remember the person's name, but it reminded me of that. So there's like a couple promotional photos, and then there's a 30-second video, and it's very interesting because it's not of him playing. It's of Jeff Goldblum witnessing an orchestra, witnessing a jazz quartet play, and he is like gently walking around them, mimicking
things.
interpretive dancing, what the sound makes him think of. It's just the weirdest video I've ever seen, and I want to just buy the album. It's good. Anyway, I'm going to surprise a friend with it for Christmas. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Last night, very late at night, I rediscovered one of my most favorite things that the internet has ever given me. It's how many 5-year-olds could you take in a fight?
This is what you sent me. We're going to post this link too on the Twitter. And you gotta, it's good. It's a good.
It's
Walk me through it.
It's oddly empowering.
It is.
You know? Okay, so the internet being a weird place where weird things happen, someone got a wild idea in their head at some point. Because there's a couple of these now. When I heard about it, there was really only one. But
You preface the text message you sent me with, I'm sending this fully realizing it's in bad taste. But it's a Buzzfeed quiz.
It's a Buzzfeed. There's a couple others if you just Google it. But you can take the same one that I took. You're probably giving information to Buzzfeed, so
That's fine.
right. If they don't already have it, they'll have a little bit
They'll
more
get it
about
anyway.
you.
Somebody's making a thing of it. So, how many 5-year-olds can you realistically take in a fight?
And so that's what it is. So here's the scene. Okay, there's a certain number of 5-year-olds that are trying to kill you. Okay, hypothetically.
Sure, you're on a playground somewhere.
Sure, and a viral outbreak. The rage virus takes over from.
You're in the
28
Matrix,
days.
and the 5-year-olds are actually Agent Smith.
Yes.
In Matrix Reloaded.
Yes. Okay. That's how it is. Okay. They're coming after you. They're going to kill you. All it does is ask you for a little bit of information. Stuff like,
Number 1, how would you describe your physique?
Right. And it gives you pretty broad options, but all the questions are really asking you, would you just let loose? What is, they kind of look for your motivation. How far are you willing to go? Whatever, this and that and this and that. And then based on what you put out, it gives you a number.
Get a number of how many toddlers you could take out of a fight.
For proper testing and what is it called? And transparency.
Research purposes.
Yeah. I would love for them to include, the question and then at the end say, you answered X. Based on that. Because if they're just being silly, okay, whatever. I plan to just take the number seriously because it's great. But it would be cool if they said, if you are willing to use an unconscious or otherwise incapacitated 5-year-old as a weapon, based on your willingness to do that, that increases the number of 5-year-olds you could take by 6 or something like that. Like if they I want to check it against something, because I could be like, oh, but if I'm willing to use one as a club,
I can tie 2 together on a pole and use it like.
See, what was funny was my wife was just like, oh yeah, you can use one like a shield, and I was like, yeah, I guess so too. They're unconscious, won't bother them while it's happening at least.
I love that your tiny bird wife.
Right. I was like, yeah.
Use it as a shield.
By the way, guess how many 5-year-olds she could take?
Oh no, tell how many?
18.
What?
And she was like, yeah. Which I don't think that's really the point, but it's a fun thought experiment.
That's good.
So I took mine, and I didn't tell John my number.
Well,
John texts us back, and we both got 52. 52! I could take on 2 classes of kindergartners.
2
if need,
large
if
choir
need be,
classes.
If need be, I could take on, if it was a field day and 2 classes were just like, him, need die now. Okay, and they came after me. I don't know why they're Skaven now, but I guess if 50 are taking on 1, it follows the tactics, right?
Yeah, no, they just smell blood in the water because they're sharks.
Yeah.
Like,
I fell over.
He have toy. We take toy from him now.
We take toy from blood.
We make blood into toy.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It'd be rubbery. Stretch Armstrong. Stretch arm blood.
Oh.
Stretch blood strong. There it is. There we go.
Stretch blood strong. That's great. He was one of my favorite toys as a kid.
That was good until I poked him with a pencil.
No,
I ruined
he got frozen.
He got frozen?
Yeah, my guy got like stuck
left him
outside
outside?
in the winter, and then he came back and he was all cronkly and
Cronkly?
that's the only sound I could think of because he was destroyed. He was ruined. I like move his bicep and like crunches and chunks, and I was like, oh no,
Bad.
He's not supposed to have bones.
Some bad
It was very traumatizing as a child. It like broke his arms, and I'm like,
no.
I have to throw him. I have to throw Stretch away. Not very good. 52 toddlers.
52, not toddlers, 5-year-olds. 5-year-olds.
5-year-olds. Very much scary. That's a lot of 5-year-olds.
But again, it's empowering to know. If 50 of them come at me, I'm like,
got it.
Allegedly, I can handle this.
I know kung fu.
Yeah, exactly. And so that was a blast. So I encourage you to take it.
It's great.
If you're an awful person, it's a fun time. If you're not an awful person, why are you listening to us?
The question number 3: have you ever actually beat up a 5-year-old?
and they leave it open-ended.
I don't know how to answer that.
Well, here's how I took it. When I was 5, I threw down a couple times.
Oh, okay? Hey, I never thought of that. I thought of me 30, like the 30-year-old adult I am, like beating up a 5-year-old. I'm like, no, I have not.
No. That's what I just see. Like, do you know? Like, are you experienced with 5-year-old tactics? Yes. I'm not experienced with tactics. Significantly older than that, since at some point I realized you can talk yourself out of a fight.
You
can. But yeah. So there's a huge swath between like 5 and 22 that I'm like, I don't know what they're gonna throw at me. But 5-year-olds, I know they're bullshit tactics.
I know it.
I like one of the questions is like, can you be climbed like a tree? I'd be like, bring it.
Bring it. I'm a giant boy.
No one's getting past my shoulders. You're bringing your head into the strike zone.
Okay, and the best part was I think the best question was, are you a man or a woman? And I was like, oh, I know the answer to this question, because if you're a man, your points go down. Because if you get hit in the nuts, like, right?
Oh,
if one of them kicks you in the nuts,
okay, yeah.
You're like, you automatically have to like, oh, you go down, and then you got a wave of toddlers comes on top of you, and you're out. You're down for the count. But I was like, if you're a lady, no, it's just, I mean, not that it doesn't hurt, but it doesn't probably be as crippling.
It's not quite as incapacitating.
Except we know with your superpower of getting kicked in the nuts, it's
I
not a
would
jam.
be worried.
It'd be fine.
I wouldn't be worried.
It's good. You just go like, ow, that hurt, but I'm still standing.
Right.
Okay, so you popped. So the deep dish calzone.
Deep dish. The Mexican deep dish calzone.
The tortilla zone.
The lasagna deep dish.
Churro. I don't know.
Quesadilla.
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 Oh no, it's like a Crunchwrap Supreme at this point.
Crunchwrap badish. I don't know.
Badish.
But I don't know.
Badish. It's a badonk.
It's just, badonk is back. Okay. So we're leaving it in. I don't want to leave it in too long. I don't want the tortilla to get too burnt, but I want to get some moisture out of this.
Yes,
so I want to make sure the cheese is super duper melted. I want to make sure it's sticky as hell, because I have a feeling you're right. We're gonna cut it and just gonna kind of.
It's gonna. Yep. It's gonna poop
just
everywhere.
Gonna leak out
and
not really stick. But this is gonna get a little video gamey. So if you don't know a lot about video games, I'm gonna try my best, but I don't care if you don't enjoy this part. That's okay. You can skip ahead. There's a skip 30 button. Press it 5 or 6 times. See if we're still talking about this. But Tier Zoo is a YouTube channel.
Here, let's pause for 2 seconds and then talk about something else randomly. So if somebody does skip it, it's a joke on them.
It's in there. They're like, oh, okay, I pressed it twice, and they're not talking about this video game bullshit. We're being mean to our listeners.
I know.
I love it.
It's good. What are we gonna talk about now?
Right? No. So Tier Zoo, it's a YouTube channel, okay? And so if anyone has ever played a massively multiplayer game, this will make a whole lot of sense to you. If you haven't, this won't make any sense. But really what he does is he talks about stuff in the world as if it was a video game. So every year is like a new edition of the game.
Oh, interesting.
So there's, back in the in version 2014, that's kind of how he refers to it. So he takes like animal profiles as if they were like a character's stat sheet.
I watched. Okay, so the episode I watched the seals versus sea lions.
That's great. That's great. like there's one that's like geese and swans. They're the same type of animal, and so it talks about if you decide to be a goose player, if you try to play the goose class.
Yeah.
So a species, an animal is a type of class. It talks about strengths and weaknesses. Are you a more intelligent? Anyway.
This is great. It was like if he took animals and were like, you could be this in your D&D game.
Yeah.
It was very good. It was very funny. So he was talking about the pros and cons of sea lions. It's the most hilarious. One of the most hilarious YouTube channels I've watched, because it was entertaining. And it was edutainment.
Edu-fucking-tainment.
It was hilarious.
What I like is that he's fully committed to the joke. He never pulls out of character. Oh, no. The world is a computer. Like, to him, the world is a computer simulation, and every living thing is just a player playing a different avatar, a different entity.
It's so funny.
So let's talk about like squirrels. If you were to play a squirrel character, what strategy would be the best? So it talks about like squirrels just burying nuts and doing that, but it talks about it in gaming is like make sure to maintain a stash that is orderly, and you're on your character's map. You have all of your stash locations. The squirrel character has low intelligence and has a tendency to forget where things are buried. You're just describing normal squirrel behavior.
I definitely think if you don't even have anything video game related, I guess
you'd be lost.
No, I mean,
think so?
I think if you were absolutely anti-video game in every aspect, you'd never picked up a video game, you'd never done anything with it, then it might not make any sense. But if you have kids, or if you have anybody that's even remotely,
or if you like fun,
if you like fun, it's a hilarious. I watch it. We'll post a link somewhere of seals versus sea lions in the YouTube channel Tier Zoo, TIERZOO. It's good. It was very good, and that was highly unexpected to get that in my messages.
It's the good kind of dumb shit that's on the internet. It's
very positive.
Yeah, it's just a fun time.
Very wholesome.
It's meaningless fun time.
Meaningless fun time.
Okay, I'm gonna let this cool because this is hot as
Oh
shit.
yeah, you pulled it out of the oven, and it's been 400 for half an hour.
Picture time.
So here's what we'll do. We'll do the recipe calls for sour cream and a couple other things on top of it, and I think we'll just do it on a per slice basis.
Sure.
I'll take a tiny little bit of it, but otherwise, no, we don't need to do the whole pie covered in sour cream. All right, we're gonna let it cool for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. We'll be back, okay?
Okay. It has cooled. It probably won't burn us like boiling hot lava. Except I know you just love to burn.
Oh
your
yeah,
tongue.
no,
it's bizarre. I could pull something out of the oven,
and I'm like,
and I'll be like, okay, guys, it's really really hot,
and
John
I'm already eating it.
He will barehanded grab it and put it on his tongue, and I can hear his tongue sizzling, and I'd be like, do you want to wait? And he's like, I committed. I committed. I did it. It's okay. It's okay. I can hear and smell his flesh burning.
It's good. I just like that sort of. I'm a masochist in that one. That one little aspect is fine. So you got your little pie cutter, pizza cutter thing.
Pie cutter, yeah.
Okay, how's it cutting?
It's really easy to cut. Might be mushy.
But
we left it in for a good long time.
Yeah.
Let it get nice and crispy.
To get it nice and crispy.
Do you want? How should I cut it? Like I'll do it in.
Yeah, just cut it into pie slices. This is fine.
So the top tortilla looks pretty stiff.
It does. The others
are not putting up a fight.
So I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. This is about to be a thing, isn't it?
Tortillas are. You can't trust them. When you're cutting them, sometimes they'll be like, "You cut me," but it's just like, no, all you did was slightly cut into the top 4 layers, but 20 more remain, and you can't like get it to separate.
6,000 holes.
Yes.
From that one episode of Futurama, right? That's great. You can't trust tortillas. They're the snitches of the.
Right.
The crime in tortilla.
See? Oh, you see?
Look at that. Look at you lift up that whole piece of that whole side of the pie.
Okay.
The top tortilla.
It holds.
It holds.
It holds.
It's holding. Okay.
All
right. 1 point. MammaMia.com or what's the website? 1,000 Temecula Temecula blogs.
$1,000 in Temecula.
No, $1,000. Oh, that's the sequel to that Johnny Depp film. When something days in Mexico or whatever it was.
Oh,
100 days in.
I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna dishes is fine.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Maybe is that it?
I think
that's what I'm talking about. 1,000 Nights in Temecula, 1 night in Mexico. Oh, this is good.
Tell me how you want me to...
these are fine. There we go.
I have very blunt forks. Sorry.
They'll blunt the knives. Remember that from The Hobbit?
Oh.
Blunt the knives, bend the forks. That whole stupid song where they just piss off Bilbo by being like, we're shitty house guests.
I mean, it really was just like a list of how to make white people angry.
I know. It was really. I'm like, this is not a good song. This is a very bad song. This is very. Anyone who's OCD is probably freaking the fudge out right now.
They're dying.
They're extremely angry. Like, no, that's my grandmother's china. No,
like, no, just respect my stuff.
Stop it. I know that you're not breaking any of the things. That's hilarious. But don't hit it with your elbows.
Right.
You're probably weakening the structural integrity as we speak.
It's one of those. You probably can. Hacky sack your way through the dishes.
Maybe you shouldn't though.
But you could also just use your hands.
You could put them away. Like freaking.
You could lift it with one
genial person
and
some
then
kind of
place.
And
no, elbows, knees, kick. Like what is that? Like your Pele or whatever. They're getting mad at him for getting mad at them for being assholes. They're like, oh, Bilbo Baggins thinks there's one more dicks. Like, well, you're being dicks.
Like, just fucking around my silverware.
You invite yourself
my family for 400 years, you
perhaps,
assholes.
Perhaps it's the Texas in me, but there's a very strong sort of like, if the signature place, tread lightly.
Wide lips.
Wide lips. Coming back to the wide lips.
10-gallon lips.
No, but like, the whole Texas thing, if you're on my property, you can just say, hey, get off my property. And if they say no, you can shoot them dead. It's convenient in that way.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's bad when that happens.
It's bad.
Sad story. Every year, there's always like some European or someone who has no concept of Texas who decides, oh, okay, I'm going to hop fences or I'm going to run across this piece of land. inevitably they get shot. Sometimes
they
they
get themselves shot.
Sometimes they get died. But it's just like, it's Texas. We a lot of the world knows about the place, so it's like if you show up and you haven't and you don't know.
There was an episode of SpongeBob about it. You should have learned.
Hey, there is. And so it's just like, oh man, we're gonna eat this.
I got a fork. Yeah, it mooshed well. It cut. It's tortillas.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Hey, not bad. Good ground
It tastes
beef.
pretty good.
It tastes pretty good. I like this.
I think salt and pepper would have been too much. There's already enough other contributors to all those flavors. Right?
I mean, it probably could have used like a pinch of salt or something.
Sure.
Like that, which is fine, or like and a pinch of black pepper or whatever it was. But I mean, I salt and pepper everything.
Right.
So it's whatever.
I would say if I knew someone was making this, I would not. If I was going over to someone's house and I knew they were making it, I would not stop somewhere beforehand. I would not stop by the gas station.
Yeah.
I wouldn't swing by McDonald's or something. And pregame, because I know I'm not gonna
pregame
before I go to some dinner shindig. Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed to hear that this was
isn't
being made.
bad. This isn't bad, and this probably could be made better by a bunch of the stuff. I mean, this has the chilies and everything, but if we added, this could add jalapenos, or this could add.
You could get weird with it, and it would still be fine.
You could get weird with this if you did even like enchilada sauce. Maybe it might even go red
I thought
or green
about it.
enchilada sauce.
We still have leftovers from
we
the
do.
cran turkey enchilada.
No.
So I thought about it, but I was like, no, stick to the recipe.
Stick to the recipe.
If we fuck with the recipe too much, then we'll be like, this wasn't good. And then rightfully the audience could be like, well, you dicked around with it.
Okay,
That's what you get.
All right, my first impressions are it's moosh.
It is very mushy.
So it's good. I mean, don't get me wrong. The ground beef is delicious. The cheese is delicious. But the tortillas really turn to nothing.
Yeah, the tortillas aren't there for anything.
They're not. Which makes me think, okay.
Toast them beforehand?
Maybe if we crisped the tortillas heavily.
Oil them up and crisp them?
Oh, yeah. Oil
I can see
them
that.
and fry a tortilla.
Because all the mush will soften them again.
Uh-huh.
But they'll also have some flavor.
You'll get a little bit of integrity.
There'll be
versus
something
this,
there.
they're already soft, so they become even softer.
Right.
And they pretty much disappear.
Yeah.
Versus if we fried the tortillas and had a really crunchy tortilla and then layered it and then softened that crunchy tortilla, that might actually make this really good.
Cream of mushroom is a little weird. Oof.
So
I understand what the cream of mushroom is there to do.
Sure.
I feel like you could accomplish it with something else.
without the mushroom, I don't feel like this is necessary to the recipe.
Yeah.
Now, the other piece is, so being moosh, anybody who has issues with food texture, right? This is not a...
Yeah.
No, this is not something that I would like. Yeah, you could have this. No, don't. This is it's thick soup almost. And we know how you feel about soup.
We gave the soup a cheesy skin.
Oh no, it's pudding skin.
Pudding skin. Soup skins. Yeah. So thumbs up, thumbs down. This is a thumbs up.
The Washington soup skins.
More viable, more socially viable than the current name.
The current name. I'll give it like a half thumbs up, I guess. It could use some tweaking.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. But it isn't bad. And for actually how simple the recipe is. What was it? Brown the ground beef.
Put in the cream of mushroom, put in a little bit of spice. Really, all it asked for.
Yeah.
It asked for actual onions, but the salsa that I have has
Already
tons
had
of
onions, so we didn't need to double up on the onions.
So I didn't want to go too crazy. Put in some onion powder because that's what it asked
That's
for.
a good sub for
Put
sure.
in a little cumin just so there's a little more going on there.
Sure, a little more taco seasoning to give it a little more
because there wasn't
Mexican
anything
flavor.
Yeah, it wasn't anything terribly
Hispanic about it. Other
because
than it was just like cheese and ground beef.
Yeah, so the cream of mushroom being thrown in really white people-ified it. Then putting the salsa in, putting the salsa juice, putting the salsa bits in, putting the cheese on. You could have put chilies on it.
You could put jalapenos and
it
stuff.
It said optional, and we were like, well, let's not.
You could probably really do like if we did fried corn tortillas, this might be really good.
Ooh, that would hold so much better.
Yeah, I think this might be really good instead of flour tortillas. No, don't get me wrong. I love flour tortillas over corn tortillas.
But that'd have a better
hands
crunch.
down. But fried corn tortillas would probably do a much better job in this recipe.
Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a half thumbs up in the sense that if you tweaked it a little bit, it would be really good. But as it stands, it's weak. It's weak. Now, flavor wise, what do you got? I'm eating this.
So this is the 5 to -5.
Yeah, 5 to -5.
I give it a 2. Like, it's not...
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna I don't have any plans for dinner, so this is
Yeah, this
I'm
is
okay
actually-
with this being my dinner.
100%. This is actually one of those things that I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna have to go get food after this.
Yeah,
Because that's what's happened every time. We've had to stop by McDonald's or stop by somewhere and get food because we're both starving.
right.
And especially with Emily, because she's had, she can't do any spice. I mean, so most of the quesadilla couldn't have, the crab turkey enchilada couldn't have, and everything.
This is pretty mild.
Yeah.
I mean, I did get mild salsa, but sometimes.
Well, hey, and that would be another thing too. If you made your own salsa, it'd be really
Right.
good. We used mild pace salsa, which is always a great standard to go by. But if you made your own salsa, right, it would do a thing. If you spiced it up or anything, right, you could put jalapenos or habaneros or something
Sure,
like that.
you could heat this up. This
Yeah.
could be a fantastic. If you're a spicy person and you want to impress people, this is like a spicy casserole that you could throw at people.
Yeah, a very spicy, unique take on a casserole.
If you think you're a spice lord and your friends think you guys are spice lords, this could be a fun way to have a meal that spice lords can enjoy.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm
Give it a
impressed.
2. What number did you get?
I'm gonna do the same.
You're
I think
gonna go with a 2?
maybe 2.5. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It is so far the best thing we've made.
You think so?
Yes.
I'm more impressed by the cran turkey enchiladas.
I was in.
But that's because my standards were rock bottom with that. I was suspicious when we were making it. This one, all
You
Mexican
thought
food.
he committed double homicide,
Right.
And he's framed for the murder. So you're all, wow,
Right. No.
what a runaway trial.
What a twist. Law and Order should just forego any suspicion about the first or second suspects. We know it's after that we'd have the right suspect.
Yeah,
Like
it
all
showed the
Mexican
guy in the
food.
bar.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony, he works here Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays, and it was like the victim was killed on a Monday. he had time to do it.
Oh, he had the overnight shift, and the cameras were down last night behind the.
The temple line. Anyways.
So yes, I was impressed by the cran turkey enchilada because of the cranberry and enchilada sauce mixture being surprisingly delicious in its own way. But for pure enjoyment and flavor, I think this is the best thing we have made so far. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I like it. But also, again, it's one of those things that.
With Mexican food, it's just
Yeah.
8 ingredients, sort of done a little differently, but they're all the same sort of thing
Sure.
together.
I mean.
So are we surprised that this happens to taste good? No.
No. I'm glad.
Pretty much every piece of it tastes good by itself. Each piece of it tastes
Yep.
good together.
Yep.
Again, it's cooperative.
Yeah,
it's carbon.
'cause- and
It
this-
bonds to
it's good.
anything.
Thank you, Bill Nye. But you're right. This is how much of a variation. I mean, this is like sort of a quesadilla, kind of a burrito.
Yeah.
If it had if it had lettuce and pico de gallo, it would be a tostada.
It's one step away from being 9 different things.
Yeah, really, in any one direction. It's like when you go to this. Have you ever seen those maps when they show when you were a kid and you'd open your science book and they show the cross section of the Earth where it'd be like the surface, the mantle, the core,
the crust,
the crust. Yeah, right. And then the
outer
map
core,
would be
inner core,
So the map
Satan.
would be no Ganesh.
I always would do that.
It's the Simpsons episode. Ganesh is running. He's flipping all the switches and stuff like that.
He's
It's
got
great.
the arms to do it.
He's got the arms
And
to
a
do
trunk. That guy had too many arms.
Too many arms.
I mean, more power to him. It's a joke because that's the representation of power. Having that many arms.
So, I just love how much you know about Indian and Hindu culture.
I know a lot about stuff I shouldn't know anything
It's
about.
good because you're all the Bhagavad Gita last episode, and I'm all, what the fuck is? I'm sorry. You both have pronounced it correctly.
I'm a
and
double
understand- Triple threat.
I'm ugly and smart.
Smart. But the cross section of the Earth, right? And then I remember when there was a one book as a kid, map, and the little quotation by the side of the map was like, if you go to the center of the Earth, every direction is up.
Yes.
Which is, I saw another thing today, which was if you go to Antarctica, every direction is north.
Except for one spot, every direction is north.
Except for one, every direction is north. And so you're like, oh, interesting. So that's this. Any direction you take this, it becomes another Hispanic dish of some sort. Like
It's a valid one.
Yeah.
Well, cream mushroom is weird, but whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a throwaway ingredient at best. You can find us online, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever podcasts are found. You can find us on Twitter at OnePanPodcast and on Instagram at OnePanPodcast.
This has been the One Pan Podcast.
I'm John.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Bryce.
It's been a great time.
Sometimes the food's funny.
Us, not so much.